Hello everyone, welcome back. Severed is here, coming back with part 2 of What If Deku was Mr. Negative. Now, before anything, if you saw me use some abilities that you might not be familiar with, Mr. Negative, because I think most of you guys has saw Mr. Negative inside, the Marvel Spider-Man game that has come out a couple of years ago. But I'm right now going with the comics books. The powers that not Compress, Mr. Negative use in his comics, not in the game. I mean, he used some of his abilities in the game, but he didn't use most of them because most of them are in the comics. So, if you saw any weird ability that you're not familiar with, you need to know that it was from the comics, alright? With that out of the way, we continue. Part 2, Mr. Negative, What If Deku? Alright. As in the last part, Izuku has gone back into his home after a little incident with the burning down building, and after he see All Might, he come back into into himself after finally coming out of his negative form, told All Might about everything. In the end, Izuku has gone back into his house and gone sleep for the night, but what does he not know? That his negative self has take control over him, and while he's sleeping he just transform into his negative form. And Izuku negative took a suit out of Izuku closet, and he right now looking like this, but not smiling, as after that he decided to go into the underground and see what's happening. As he did that, he having his hand behind, with in his pockets, he sit down on a bar. He asked the bartender if there's some people might wanna be a recruit or something like that, might wanna be, get a job. He told him maybe you should look behind you first, as Izuku seeing a lots of people, a lots of villains behind of him. As one of the villains told Izuku that this where he's sitting right now, it's his favorite seat. As Izuku apologized and said, "How about I buy you a drink?" As he bought him, uh, you know, a whole bottle of alcohol, and after that, he just got hold of the bottle and engulfed it with his, dark energy or negative power, and hit the guy on his head, knocking him off. After that, he just opened the bottle and put some alcohol in a glass or in a cup, and after that, he just drank it. As he said, "So, as any of you idiots are interested in joining me?" As he just looking at them with his eyes. He, after, seeing no reaction, he decided to to drink another glass of beer. As he did this and said, and while he just looking at the villains, he said, "You, bartender, I see that you have an arena here. Do you have a tournament or something like that?" As the bartender said, "Yeah, do you want to join?" As, Negative said, I would love to join, if I am able to, of course." "Well, if you want to join, you have to pay something. How about that?" As Izuku said, "Well, I really don't have a lot of money right now, but I can pay you with weapons. Is that enough for you?" As the bartender said, "And what kind of weapons?" As after that, he got hold of a little spoon on the table and slashed the air in front of him, sending like a power energy slash at one of the villains, killing him immediately. As after that, he put the spoon on the table and said, "And this is only a spoon. Imagine what will happen if I did the same thing that I did into this spoon, into like a gun, into like a launcher, into like a sword. So, what do you say?" As the bartender said, "Well, you are interested indeed. Go in." And after that, Izuku said, "Thank you. Can you keep this bottle of alcohol for me later?" As the bartender just keep the bottle, Izuku sit down on one of the chairs and cross his leg together, waiting for his turn. As, a person that care out of the matches come into Izuku and said, "Hey kid, what do you want your name to be?" As Izuku thinking a little bit and said, "Call me Mr. Negative." As the guy said, "Alright." And he gone, into the arena and said, "Alright, welcome everyone into the tournament number 134 in this underground fighting club. Now, today we got a lots of strong villains on our hands. They will gonna fight to death. So, first match, without any more talking and wasting time. First match will be Ben against Mr. Negative." And after that, Izuku jump into the arena with his, arms behind his back and not even smiling. He's just having an emotionless expression on his face. As he look in front of him, he see a big guy coming into the arena looking like this. As he said, "So, you are Mr. Negative, huh? I was expecting something more stronger." As Izuku looking at him said, "And you must be Ben, huh? I was expecting something more filled with muscles." As Ben laughed and said, "You will get what you wanted." As after that, Ben suddenly start becoming more bigger, much more muscular, and much more, much bigger and much more muscular, getting much more stronger. As he said, "Do you like it now?" As Izuku said, "Well, this will gonna be considered a challenge for me." As the person that taking care of the matches said, "3, 2, 1, give us all what you got." And after that, Ben, without a hesitation, jump at Izuku and throw a punch, as his hand being stuck in the wall. The smoke all around, as he said he must die now. And after that, he hear a sound in his right saying, "So slow, I was expecting something more of you." As he look on his right, he see Izuku still having his hand behind his back. As Ben said, "What the?" And after that, he just take his hand out of the wall and throw another punch at Izuku. Izuku dodging it while his hand still behind his back. Ben throwing left, right, up, down punches. Izuku just dodging them left and right, and when he throw a punch on the ground, Izuku just jump into the air, and after that, he getting, jump behind Ben and said, "You're really slow, maybe you should try much harder than that, but I think you will be useful against weak enemies of mine." As Ben said, "Don't talk with me like this!" As he throw a punch at Izuku just dodging it, and after that he got hold of, Ben's hand and flip him up his, above his head and throw him on a couple of villains that right now sitting down watching the match. Has Ben said, "You asshole!" And after that, one of the villains told Ben to take this, as he gave him such a big, metal pipe. And after that, Ben said, "I don't use these things," as he immediately throw the pipe away and jump back into the arena saying, "But this," as he put his hand into the ground and take a big rock, a big chunk out of the rock from the ground and throw it at Izuku. Izuku immediately punching the rock blew it up into pieces, as Ben is surprised by this, and Izuku still having his right arm behind his back saying, "Well, that was a kind of strong attack, but let me show you mine." As Izuku taking one of the rocks that being, one of the rocks that has come out from the big rock and engulf it with his negative power, and after that he throw it on a wall, as the rock bounce off of that wall into another one, and into another wall and into another, and after that the rock start hitting Ben from all direction, left to right. Is like a bullet that is just jumping on the walls, as Ben is actually getting hurt by this and said, "What the hell is this?" And after that, Izuku just put his raising his left hand, and the rock just gone into his hand, just come back into him. As Izuku said, "Well, Ben, I have a proposition for you. Would you like to be one of my first recruits into my organization?" As Ben said, "What the? How a little kid like you having an organization?" As Negative said, well, not yet, but in the future you will be one of the first. So, would you like that? Or should I end your life here so in the future you will not be able to fight me? If you joined someone like my enemies, when I get some of them. What do you say? I can pay you so well, and I can give you such a strong weapons. Like such a strong powered gloves that will gonna be able to break even metal with one punch. What do you say about that? Well, I'm agreeing to that. You proved your point. Boss, as Izuku said, great. Now get out of the arena. I need to see the others. I need to see who deserves to work with us. As Ben just get out of the arena, and after that he's still watching Izuku. As the person that taken care of the match said, well, Ben is giving up. Mr. Negative wins! And after that, the next match will be, as a, the person said, the next match will be Mr. Negative against, as is just a random person. Izuku defeated him, seeing no potential in him, just crushing his head until his legs. And after a couple of fights, Izuku finally meet with, which Izuku seeing in front of him, a kid with a black hair and a glowing red eyes with a big sadistic smile, not even wearing a shoes and some fire coming out of his legs. As the kid said, so you are Mr. Negative, huh? Well, let's see how you will gonna do against a demon. As Izuku said, interesting. Well, please show me what you can do. And after that, the person started the matches as the kid immediately jumped at Izuku with a left kick. Izuku dodging this into the right and got hold of his leg and throw him back on the wall. The kid, before he smash into the wall, he immediately got hold of himself by his fires in his feet. After that, he gone back flying at Izuku. Izuku dodging into the right, but the kid just immediately spin his direction, going back at Izuku as he managed to hit him. Because Izuku was was in the middle of his dodging scene or something like that. As he kicked Izuku in his face, throwing him on the wall. As he said, well, let's see how you can survive this. And after that, Izuku just put his hand on the wall and started scratching his head. Said, he managed to actually hit me. Interesting. What's your name? As the kid said, people and villains and heroes call me Devil, or the fire demon or some shit like that. But to be honest, my real name is Shinra. You can call me anything if you want, because it will not matter anyway, when you will die. And after that, he gone at Izuku, starts spinning like a tornado of flames. Izuku put his hand together in front of him, crossing his hand together, trying to block the attack. And while that happening, Shinra immediately jump into the air and starts, flipping in the air, going to throw a kick at Izuku. Izuku engulfing his hands with negative power, and after that he throw a beam of negative energy at Shinra, clashing with his fire in the middle of the air. After that, a whole explosion out of flames and black and white energy just covered the whole arena. And when the smoke clears, they see Shinra on the ground and Izuku standing above him. As Shinra, getting ready to die, Izuku gave him a hand and said, you are you have such an interesting power and you are so strong. So, what do you say about joining me? I can give you much more than just this arena. I can give you the world if you want. You can take a revenge upon someone if you want, if you didn't take it yet. I can make you something better, stronger, and much more deadlier. What do you say about this, Shinra? As Shinra said, you're talking in my language. I like it. And after that, he put his hand in Izuku's hand, and after that, he said, I give up. And whisper into Izuku's ear saying, in the future, next time, I am the one who will gonna make you give up. As he just get out of the arena. The present Mike villain edition said, well, this is the end of that match. The winner is Mr. Negative, and he won with $10 million. And after that, he just gave it back into Izuku. Izuku said thank you. And after that, he, meet with Shinra and Ben out of the arena. As, Ben said, so, what are we gonna do now? As, Mr. Negative said, well, I have one last thing to do. As after that, he's seeing the present Mike villain edition in the middle of the arena just talking. He jumped down and, present Mike said, what are you doing here, kid? You already took your money, leave. As Izuku just pushed him and got hold of the mic. As he said, for any villains that right now sitting here, and he didn't even get a chance in the fights. I am here, my name is Mr. Negative, and I am trying to build an organization. So, if any of you are interested in joining, raise your hands up. I don't care if you have a quirk or not, as long as you can hold a weapon and shoot it without hesitation, you are with me. So, who will gonna join me? Who will gonna join the inner demons? And after that, a couple of villains raising their hands up. Some are just, quirkless, some having some quirks, and just blah blah blah, things like that. As Izuku said, great, come with me. And after that, Izuku or Mr. Negative take all those villains with him away while he's still holding the back of the money. As, Shinra said, hey, boss, what are we gonna do now? What do you want to do now? As Izuku said, we were gonna get in a hideout. We need a hideout. We can't just run around with all those villains behind our backs. And after that, Izuku said, and also, we need something to present us. Something to make people remember the inner demons. I'm gonna search about that thing later, but right now, let's just go. I know a place to hide in. As, Mr. Negative, and a couple of years ago, before he was like 10 years old or something like that, when Izuku was sleeping, he just run around the city, seeing what's happening and, some hideouts. As in the end, he find a place that looking like this inside the sewers. As, all the villains saying this place, they said, is this your hideout, boss? As, Mr. Negative said, yes, this is our hideout now. Have fun. And try to play it low for now. I need to come back later. Alright? Ben, you're taking control until I come back. Understand? As Ben said, alright, boss. And Shinra said, why you giving the, why you are making this big guy taking control? I am better than him. As Izuku said, this is my decision. I am the leader here. If you doesn't want, you can just leave. As, Shinra said, alright. After that, Izuku just leave the place and all the villains. As we continue on the next day. Izuku waking up from his sleep saying, well, that was such a nice dream. What a weird one indeed. I thought myself were fighting villains in an arena and something like that. As Izuku stand up, and after that, he, feels some pain on his head, saying, why my head is so hurt? As he just gone into, the little, I forgot the name. I freaking forget the name of the toilets, yes. He gone into the toilets and washed his face, and after that he just eat the breakfast with his mother and gone into the forest for training. Izuku just training on using his negative power, trying to throw beams, engulf it with like some sticks, some rocks, things like that, as he, has already decided what will gonna be his hero outfit and everything. As he just throwing some things all around, he said, Well, this should be good, as right now Izuku is not in his negative form. He, can use his power without his negative self. And after that, Izuku hearing a weird sound, a sound of a pain or something like that, as Izuku said, what the? And after that, he started going closer into the sound and finally find a wolf, a black wolf that right now feeling pain. He's so injured. As Izuku said, oh, a wolf. As he go closer into the wolf and said, can I heal him? I will not be able to give him any bandages, but maybe I have some in my bag. As the wolf just feeling more pain, Izuku said, shit, I'm sorry. And after that, he just put his hand on the wolf head, and some negative energy of Izuku gone into his body, healing him actually. As after that, Izuku said, what the? As after that, the wolf suddenly feeling so much better than before. And after that, he stand up and start getting closer to Izuku. As Izuku, getting back because this is a wolf. As he said, please leave me alone. I healed you. Can we just? As the wolf immediately come closer into Izuku and start, rubbing his head against Izuku cheek. As he starts licking his face, Izuku said, stop this, alright, you need to stop this. As, the wolf just looking at Izuku, Izuku said, well, I really can't take you back into my house, but I can come every day here to see you. What do you say about this? As the wolf nods, Izuku said, wait, did he actually understand me? As the wolf said, bark in Izuku face. As Izuku said, alright, so, what should I call you? As the wolf's, just looking at Izuku, Izuku said, how about, minus? As the wolf looking weird at Izuku, like he's saying, what do you mean by minus? As Izuku, said, I really don't know, it's just a reference for my negative power, minus, negative, things like that. As the wolf's, just looking weird at Izuku. Izuku said, I'm gonna think of a better name later, but right now how about I call you Minus? Alright, Minus, how about we, come with me and train? As Izuku actually take Minus, or whatever, if you guys have a better name into the wolf, tell me down in the comments. As after that, Izuku just start playing with him and training at the same time. This happening for the couple of first weeks. And while that's happening, while Izuku's just having fun and training in the underground, Mr.Negative, he's building his army out of the inner demons. The inner demons looking like this. I mean, I'm not gonna give you I'm not gonna give you how every one of them looks. Just imagine them being all, all the same, and all they just looking like this guy. But of course, every single one of them have some weapons, because Izuku has, stole some weapons, bought some, and, some swords, and things like that. And he even gave, Ben the gloves that he promised him to give him. As, while that happening, in a 10 month of training has already done, Izuku finally going into UA, as he said, well, I need to get ready. This is alright, Izuku, just focus. This is where everything will gonna start. Here's where you gonna become a hero. And Izuku doesn't know a fucking shit about what his negative, self is doing in the dark. He literally doesn't have anything. He have sometimes just some blurry memories about seeing himself torturing someone, or buying some weapons out of the mafia or something like that, some shit like this. As Izuku just got into, the place, and after that, he got through the written portion exam and got, sit on the table, getting ready to hear, President Mike talking about the, the entrance exam, the physical part. As he talk about the 1-pointer, 2-pointer, 3-pointer, Izuku's just really not into it, and his eyes are his eyes are glowing with white in the dark. They're just, another aspect of his quirk. As After that, a kid with a blue hair stand up and said, Mr. President Mike, you talked about three kind of robots, but here on my paper I have four. If this is a mistake of UA, I am very disappointed. And you, as he pointed at Izuku and said, your eyes are glowing. Stop using your quirk. As, Izuku right now just wearing a suit. Literally, he just wearing a black and white suit. As Izuku said, I really can't stop it. Do you think I want to glow in the dark or something like that? I can't stop it, so how about you leave me alone? As, Ida said, I wish that you were gonna behave yourself. Or maybe you should just leave this place right now. As Izuku getting angry and he starts shape-shifting into his, negative form. As his negative form stand up and said, Oh, shut the fuck up, blue hair. I hate your guts. You're such a pathetic insect that I really can't understand why you are even here. I mean, seriously. How about you just get out of here before I kill you? As Ida getting angry saying, and who do you think yourself? As Mr. President Mike said, whoa, both of you, calm down. Well, blue-haired kid, how about you sit down? And you, kid, don't worry, I'm not gonna let him, talk with you anymore. As Negative said, he better not do, because if he did, I'm gonna kill him. And after that, he just sit down and come back into his, normal self. President Mike said, well, the 0-pointer is blah, blah, blah. And after that, everyone's standing and, out of the the fake city A, as Izuku just having his hand behind his back, and he just, wearing a suit, literally, just a black and white suit. As, and everyone just looking at him weird. I mean, a suit is not, very comfortable for a hero fight or something like that. As also in the camera's room, All Might said, why is this kid is wearing a suit? And wait, is this the same kid that attacked those two heroes before, Kamu Woods and, Blade Hand? As Eraser has said, so this is the kid? As All Might said, yeah. His quirk is kinda affecting his mind, turning him into like a negative version of him. I don't really know what what's all about him, but that's what I know for now. I know also that he wants to be a hero, and after that, the doors open up as Izuku immediately starts rushing in. And, without his negative version, he just turning his legs and hands into a negative versions. Turning his hand into his wrist into negative version and his legs just, negative. He's just using his power without transformation. Alright, not to lose his mind. And after that, Izuku starts rushing into the place as he starts destroying robot, throwing some, laser energy beams and some punches, some kicks, and after that he just jumping on the walls of the building. After that he find like a metal pipe as he just take it and engulf it in his, negative energy and start cutting through the robots. He saw a couple of robots, going at him. He just slashed the air in front of him and throw like a slash of energy. After that, the teachers in the camera's room are just so shocked by how well this kid is doing. As Eraser has said, he's doing so well for someone that's wearing a suit. I wonder. And after that, Principal Nezu just show everyone Izuku quirk. As, negative powers, negative energy, he can shoot beams of laser, very durable, strong, fast, and things like that, all that shit. But there are some abilities that are really interested in, which make All Might actually feel a little bit suspicious about Izuku. Some of his abilities are out of the place. And what I am meaning by some of his abilities are out of its place, it's like one ability that he can control anyone that he touches with his, negative touch, or even his healing touch that he actually discovered. As he, still playing with his little wolf in the in the little woods. He discovered that he had like a healing touch in his normal form, but in his negative form he can control someone's mind. His touch just changed as Izuku just standing in front, while lots of robots around of him are just destroyed. As he said, well, this should make it. I wish this is enough for me to get into UA. After that, felt the ground start shaking and said, what the? After that, he look above him. He sees such a big ass robot. As Izuku, damn, now this are something, but I'm not gonna take it. As he start running away. After that, he see other, he hears someone screaming. Someone screaming saying, please, someone help me! As after that, Izuku looking back, he see a kid with a black and purple eyes under a rubble. As he said, what the? As he, just looking left and right, seeing people running away. Izuku getting angry, saying, is this really the heroes that I'm gonna be in the same class with? Is this really what the heroes those people will gonna become heroes in the future? As Izuku, without his will, he just transformed into his negative form. As his negative form starts running in, holding his, the metal pipe. As All Might in the camera's room said, this kid is crazy. And after that, he starts running on the leg of the zero pointer, literally running upwards, while he's just having his metal pipe inside the robot leg, and he just going up and up, cutting him while he's just running. And after that, he finally got into his head, as he immediately jumped into the air and throw the metal pipe on the zero pointer head. And because the metal pipe are engulfed in his energy, he just use it and snap his fingers, making the metal pipe explode with his power, as it's the zero pointer head just obliterated and his body just being cut into a half. As all the people are shocked, All Might has just said, what the? And after that, Izuku just jumping falling from the sky. He just crash into the ground and leaving a big crater around of him, as he just transformed back into his normal self, saying, wow, that was something. And after that, he said, wow, that was as Izuku said, oh, sorry, as he go at the kid. And after that, he just take the rubble off of him. As he said, are you okay? As the kid said, yeah, but I really can't walk. As Izuku said, oh, I can help you with that. And after that, he just put his hand on the kid leg, healing it. As the kid stand up, saying, it's healed. Oh, wow, this is so great. Thank you, man. As he said, no problem. My name is Izuku. What's your name? As the kid said, my name is O'Neill. Nice to meet you. So, what's your quirk? Is really fascinating how you used it. As Izuku said, yeah, negative powers. Not every great power come with with all good. I have some side effects that as really are strong. As O'Neill said, well, thanks for saving me. How about I, take you to drink someone as a thank you? As Izuku said, you really don't have to do that. But, O'Neill said, I insist. As after that, Izuku said, I really don't have anything to do, so alright. And after that, Izuku starts walking with O'Neill out of the, the fake city. But while he just running, getting out, the lady or recovery girl seeing him, she asks for his help. As O'Neill will gonna wait for him, he just doesn't want to leave Izuku because he want to thank him about what he did. Yeah, the recovery girl asked Izuku for his help. Izuku helping a couple other students as he just get out with O'Neill to drink something. And this soon gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what do you think about this part. And what do you think will gonna happen in the next part? Well, I have nothing more to say than Savard was here.